Hey, what's up, guys? It's Marsman here, and welcome to another Call of Duty Ghost commentary and gameplay. Pay very close attention to the gameplay because this is what this is about. Not necessarily me doing well, but me lagging all over the place, which brings me to the topic of dedicated servers and just the lag in place of these Call of Duty games and how disappointing it really is to have to play with it, like right here. No hit markers? I don't think so. So, what's going on with the Call of Duty Ghost situation is that we were promised dedicated servers, and I have a problem with that because they did not deliver on their promise. Now, I'll read a little article here, which is an official statement given about the dedicated servers. So, just a reminder that we're using a hybrid system for Ghost online play to deliver the best possible connection. Hybrid meaning that sometimes you'll be on listen servers, which is kind of having that host migration, host advantage, and then sometimes it'll be on dedicated servers. Now this will be across every platform, so that everyone kind of has to deal with that, which sure is fair, but when you get a connection like in this game, it's clearly not a dedicated server. Now the thing with dedicated servers is that it is a match where nobody necessarily has an advantage because it is a neutral kind of server that it's connecting to, and everybody is connecting to that server. And of course, if it's Call of Duty, if it's kind of like money put into it, it's not going to be like a crap connection. It's going to be some more or less upper class connection that should work flawlessly, unless you have a really bad internet connection and you connect to it, and just because your connection's so bad, you're not gonna be able to perform well. Now when it's connecting to a host, what happens is that everyone is kind of sucking off. Oh wow, I really just said that. Everyone is connecting through that host, through that person. And that makes for a worse experience if that person is lagging or has any type of, if someone's using too much bandwidth on the internet or whatever, then that will kind of suffer. Now, I remember playing Gears of War 2, I would glitch host of a lobby. Not necessarily glitch, but if you were to lag your game enough, so let's say you open up like 10 YouTube videos, so it streams the YouTube videos. It lags your internet connection enough that it doesn't join a game, and it would just kind of host your own lobby, and then people would join into it afterwards. So then you could cancel, you could kind of like close down everything and get your bandwidth back to normal, but you would still have priority on that host connection. And I remember doing that, and that was kind of the only way that I felt that Gears of War 2 was playable. Now, luckily in Gears of War 1, they promised dedicated servers. I played the beta, I played the game, and I loved it. Dedicated servers felt so good because what happens with those is you're really responsible for your playing. If something doesn't go well, it's because you're screwing up and not necessarily because there's some cheap lag thing going on. That's completely out of your control. Now, in this case, there's plenty out of my control. You can see quite a few times that I'm phasing through objects, that I'm kind of zooming or teleporting back, and it's weird. It's kind of a weird thing, and because of that, a lot of the bullets are not registering, and they're not doing as much damage. They're not as accurate because the game is kind of sending the message of what's going on at a more or less kind of cut off signal. And it makes it really difficult to play. And I've played games enough to know how to work with lag, but still it's disappointing when you're promised a service, especially with Call of Duty, with Activision making millions and millions and actually billions in the past few years of dollars through a game, that they can't offer us a simple service as dedicated servers. People pay $60 for this game generally, and a lot of people buy the season passes and buy some DLC. So that's, with the season pass, that's about $100 that you're spending here on a game, and the least Activision can do is give us dedicated servers, right? A lot of people pay premium dollars for MMOs when they game. Like World of Warcraft, I think it's something like $15 a month that people pay, but they're expecting and they receive the best service possible. Blizzard assures that. With Call of Duty, it should be very much the same because we're paying so much money for this video game, and some people only buy one game a year. And if you're spending $100 on that, you want that game to work flawlessly. Now, I mean, sure, certain things can be patched in, but for a game that promises dedicated servers and then kind of goes back on that promises and does a little sneaky thing like, oh yeah, the dedicated servers are there, but it'll just connect to the dedicated servers if that's the quote optimal connection, right? I don't know, that's disheartening. I don't like that. I feel like I've been played. I feel like we've all been played by Activision just for kind of saying that, and I guess it's just cheap. It's kind of a kick in the ass, right? You put so much time and effort and money and love into a game, and then that's how they treat us, really. Now, I did a commentary close to this one, and you can see here the knife. I mean, I got the knifing animation and everything, and it just zoomed me right back, and it's disheartening is really the only word I can think of. It's really annoying that this happens. But yeah, I did a commentary about this on Black Ops 2 when that came out as well, and that was kind of I mean, Black Ops 2 didn't promise the type of dedicated servers solution for the game as Ghost did, so it was just a normal server connection issue, which always happens in these Call of Duty games. And Ghost felt like the first one that didn't launch like that. The first night I had really good connections, which was completely new and unheard of for any game at launch. And now I feel I'm getting back in the routine where I'm lagging more and more, and I'm finding matches where it's more or less unplayable. And luckily I know how to play around the lag, like I said, but it's just so difficult to know that a company's making $1 billion and they're not really working on fixing what are big problems of creating a disadvantage for players. It's kind of sick, and I wish we could make a stand and say, look, we're not going to purchase your game anymore, but that takes more than a few hundred people to do so. It takes more than a few thousand people to do so, and unfortunately there's not that kind of power. No one's gonna kind of stand up and do that. So I don't know. I wish as a society we could do that. We could stand up and say, look, you're not delivering the service we asked and paid for. Do something about it. Because I know in a lot of places, you can do that, and they will provide that service. They will do their best to if you go to a store or something, you go to an electronics store and your purchase is not at your satisfaction, you have a certain time to go and redeem something else or change your mind. In this case, you buy the game, you put it in, all you're gonna get for your game is that trade-in value if you want to trade the game, which is really a joke at just how many pennies you'll get for a game after you buy it and play it, even if it's just once. It's terrible value. So it sucks. It really does suck. But I don't know. Here's hoping that one day people will learn to put their foot down and fight for what's right and fight for what they deserve. And hopefully we can get that someday, soon, sooner rather than later. But this has been the gameplay. I hope you've enjoyed the lag and been able to see what I was struggling with, and I hope the commentary was interesting. If you enjoy it, leave a like and comment. If not, dislike and comment, and subscribe too if you haven't already. Now look at the lag. There you go. Finally, 25 and 8. Thanks for watching.